Hello and welcome to Clayview News Desk. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. I am Imefonokun with this and more. Following the directive by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to security agents to tackle factors responsible for food crisis in the country by clamping down on others and speculators, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has sealed off Sahad stores in Area 11 Garki area of Abuja this Friday. The management of the supermarket was accused of shortchanging customers by charging prices other than the official price tag on their shelves. The FCCPC enforcement team was led by acting executive vice chairman of the agency, Adamu Ahmed Abdullahi. Briefing journalists thereafter, Abdullahi said the commission's preliminary investigation confirmed that the owners of the supermarket were shortchanging customers. He said the store will remain sealed until the completion of the further investigation. This comes after the federal government, in collaboration with state governors, agreed to set up a committee to tackle the issue of hoarding of produce and other essential commodities in the country following unprecedented prevailing food inflation. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the constitution of a committee comprising state governors and representatives of the federal government to explore the modalities for the establishment of state police. Tinubu gave the approval on Thursday at a meeting with 36 state governors attended by Vice President Kashim Shettima, the National Security Advisor, the Inspector General of Police, the Director General of the DSS, and some ministers at the State House, Abuja. He also endorsed the training of and equipping of forest rangers by subnational governments to safeguard human and natural resources in local communities as part of efforts to tackle the prevailing insecurity in the country. President Tinubu, who stressed the need to recruit more police personnel to strengthen the force, he informed the governors that the federal government will work with them and the National Assembly towards putting in place a mechanism that would engender state police instead of the vigilantes that are being used in some states. Men of the Sokoto State Police Command have arrested one Jamilu or Yusuf, a community health officer in Bada Anya in Sokoto metropolis, for allegedly treating bandits and kidnappers. Jamilu was arrested along with 12 others on their way to Tambuwal for a mission. Parading the suspect on Thursday, the Commissioner of Police, Ali Kaikama, said the health worker was the one treating injured suspects. Kaikama added that 3 AK-47 rifles with 116 rounds of live ammunition were recovered from them. In an interview with newsmen, Yusuf confessed treating bandits anytime they sustained gunshot wounds and that they were paying him up to 100,000 naira per patient. Nigerian parents whose children are studying abroad are paddling to pay fees owing to the volatility in the exchange rate of the Nigerian currency, the naira. Some of them are said to have withdrawn their children from foreign institutions. The naira weakened to a record low on January 30, 2024, selling for 1,413 naira against the dollar at the official foreign exchange window. Findings by our correspondent revealed that while school fees had not increased in most universities abroad, the naira devaluation had jacked up the fees paid by parents from Nigeria. For several decades, Nigeria, Africa's economic hub, has struggled with corruption, an epidemic that has swept through all sectors of governance at the federal, state, and local levels, leaving devastating effect on the economy and the quality of public service delivery. As part of efforts geared towards promoting transparency and accountability among public office holders, the Priest Peace and Justice Initiative, an arm of Palace of Priest Assembly, on Wednesday, organized a one-day platform for Christians in government. As Clayview Gloriata now reports, the meeting is aimed at getting the Christian community in the public sector fully involved in the fight against all forms of corruption in our society.
For several decades now, Nigeria, Africa's economic giant has struggled with corruption, an epidemic that has swept through all sectors of the public and private sector at the federal, state and local levels, leaving devastating effects on the economy and the quality of life of its citizens. According to a 2012 report, Nigeria was estimated to have lost over $400 billion to corruption since its independence in 1960. The infiltration of corruption in all sectors of national growth and development has caused untold hardships among the majority of the populace, leading to high poverty levels. According to the General Overseer, Palace of Priests Assembly, Dr. Otive Igbuzo, at a one-day meeting on transparency and accountability for Christians in government, true victory against corruption can only be attained if relevant stakeholders and individuals, especially Christians, can come together and act as agents for social justice and equity in the society.
The mandate that God has given to us as Christian ministers is to minister to both the spiritual and physical dimensions of the people. And Jesus Christ showed us the example. He ministered to the sick, he ministered spiritually to people, he ministered to them when they were hungry, he fed them. When the people were doing things that were not right, he challenged them. So that is the purpose, and we are very happy about what is happening. For the program today especially, we are targeting it at Christians in government. And you've seen the special advisor to the president has just spoken, because we know the power of government in every society. In fact, the corruption itself, the majority of grand-scale corruption happens in government. So we believe that there are Christian ethics, and so the Christians in government should be the light that should shine.
Other stakeholders at the event, while stressing on the need for accountability and transparency in governance, expressed optimism that the meeting will create an opportunity for robust deliberations that will address the long-standing issue of corruption in the country.
The theme holds significant meaning to us as Christians in public service, and as it emphasizes our duty to embody the teaching of Christ and uphold the values of honesty and justice in our roles.
To combat the scourge of corruption, we as Christians must live in obedience, observe God's commandments, and teach each other to do so. This means making efforts to live lives of integrity within and without, and truth are the hallmarks of Christians.
I believe that even in government, as we begin to showcase the ethics and the very foundation of our calling as Christians, that is when society in itself will begin to transform.
As two-edged swords, both involvement and the unity of the church in policy issues in the fight against corruption would enhance networking and facilitate church governance.
The one-day event was initiated under the Shun Corruption Project, which started in 2018 to mobilize Christians, especially Pentecostals, to join the fight against corruption in Nigeria with the support of John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation. Gloria Atta, reporting for Clearview News.
You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clearview News Desk, or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clearview Online.